Well, Chase, you ready to talk about Citibank?
Yeah, let's look at it.
Okay, Citibank, their symbol, very easy. C, they're in the bank diversified industry. Only 1.6% shares on the short side. That's not bad. 81% institutional owned. I'm disappointed in this. I thought the PE was lower at 16.3 versus the industry at 11.1. Price of sales 2.5 versus 3.3. Price to book value 1 versus 1.1. And then price to cash flow, nothing there versus 7.8, but the PEG ratio does look good at zero point 0.8 versus 4.4. Now, we do see over the last year, the earnings did climb very nicely, 19.7%. And I don't believe they've reported yet, have they?
They did.
They did. Okay, so these are good numbers. Okay, I want to make sure of that. Up 19.7% for Citigroup. The industry was down 2.2. Sales for Citigroup up 5.4. Industry was down 0.8. And the analysts give them a 5-year growth rate of 14.7, well above the industry at 8.7. Now, you do get I'll say a decent dividend, about 2.1%. That's below the industry at 3.3. The payout ratio, 31.5%. That is below the industry at 36.5. Now, looking at the balance sheet and the bank, they have different accounting. They don't have current ratios, but their debt to equity is 1.7 versus 1.9, so that's a positive. Net profit margin, 17.2, which is pretty good, but the industry of banks is 30.1, so not as good as the industry. And the return on equity, not very good for Citigroup, 6.3 versus 10.7. And we do see return on invested capital is good, 16.6 versus 15.4. Chase, what do you got?
There's a current price here for Citigroup. Well, it's $113.59. The 52-week range, $55.51 is the low, and the high, $124.17. And you did bring up earnings. They did actually fall, it looks like 4% initially after reporting. It's kind of surprising me, but $1.81 per share. That beat estimates of $1.67 per share. And that was on revenue of $21 billion versus estimates of $20.7 billion. So they came in above expectations, but I think it's just done so well. I mean, prior to that report, they had grown like 50% over the year's time frame. So, I mean, it has done very well. It might have just been some profit taking, but the stock has been on a tear. I'm going to say that. Now, looking forward, though, for Citigroup, we go out to December 2027. We made that adjustment. Estimated earnings per share, $12.02. It gives us a target sell price of $199.53. It still trades for under 10 times those future earnings. I mean, the valuations look good. The only concerning factor I have is it's done so well. Can it continue to do well? And also, sometimes banks, I don't want to say they don't trade on the same multiple of earnings, but many times the price to book value is a more prevalent indicator for banks, and they have gotten more expensive on that valuation than they have been in the past.
I think Citibank was 1, so it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, they used to trade under book value pretty substantially.
And I do like 2026, the earnings were 10.21, or the estimate. You said 12.02 now, so that's a nice increase. And I was kind of concerned last year, like, oh gosh, the banks may not do well in 2026. So far, I'm kind of saying, well, maybe they are going to do okay. You want to be careful, but I think Citibank is
Well, a couple of thoughts I have with Citigroup in particular. Number one, they have my 2 favorite credit cards, actually. I mean, they have the Costco card and then the Double Cash card. I have 3 credit cards now. They own 2 of my 3 credit cards. So they got a good credit program, in my opinion. That could be problematic. Again, we talked about this 10% interest cap last week on the show. I think the odds of that going through is very, very low. But if it did, I mean, that might hurt Citigroup more than some of the other large financials. The other thing, it says they do have advisory services. And one thing we keep talking about is the M&A boom, the IPO boom that should be coming. And that should benefit, really, I'm going to say the Goldman Sachs of the world. I feel like I never really hear Citigroup as part of that conversation. Oh, yeah, they're in the conversation to bring SpaceX public. I'd never hear that. It's JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs. Those are really the top dogs out there. I don't know how big their advisory business is, but I think that is an area, the investment banking area is one that should be primed for growth in 2026. I'm not sure how much they're going to benefit from that.
And I believe Citibank has been more the one that loans worldwide. They don't seem
a lot of issues before.
Oh, a lot of issues before, but they don't seem to be as much in the investment side as the other ones. And you're right. I never hear Citibank. Oh, they have this IPO for it's usually Goldman Sachs, the big one. Then J.P. Morgan does a lot, and
then like Wells Fargo, they have Wells Fargo Advisors. I don't know if Citigroup has that branch as well. So, frankly, I don't know as much about Citi as like the other money center banks like B of A, JP Morgan and Wells Fargo, I feel like they're all pretty similar in business lines. I don't know Citi as well.
Yeah, I think it's worth looking into.
Yeah.
But I'm a little bit concerned on the lack of the diversification on the bank.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to see a little bit more in there. So